This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex, and it's in red. It's the Ramble. It's in white, and I'll be here until midnight tonight. Hey ladies and gentlemen, guess who's here? That's Steve Kravitz.
Hey Alex.
Guess who isn't here? Me.
Right.
Oh man,
Right.
I have.
Hey, when did you shave your head?
What do you mean when I shave my head? I get a haircut every now and then. My wife does it.
No, it looks like you shaved it.
Well, there's hair here, but it's
Is it?
very light.
It's shorter than I've ever seen it.
Yeah. It's usually that way when I start off.
Okay.
Excuse me if I'm coughing today. I'm a mess. I'm an absolute mess. You know, I have no idea what it was. Let me turn on the air conditioning more here. I have no idea what it is. It's
It's cold.
It's a cold. It's not COVID. But
Right.
how long do colds usually last for you? Because they usually only lasted for me like 3 days.
Right, like a few days.
Yeah, this has been going since what, Sunday? Something like that? Yeah.
That's what, 4 days?
Yeah. And
Hey, you get over it.
it doesn't seem to be it seems to be a little better today, but
Right.
it doesn't feel that way, you know.
Right.
And I can barely talk. You know.
Well, you sound hoarse.
Well, I canceled my show last night, and I may cancel the
Right.
show tonight.
I saw that.
Yeah, because I just, I'm feeling like crap.
Right.
So how you doing? You've been having toothy problems, right?
Oh, a lot. I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not real happy. I want to go lie down.
Yeah, well, maybe we might just make this 15 minutes and it's called quits for both
All
of
right,
us.
you got a deal.
Because we're both out of it, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
I took like 2 ibuprofens, 800 milligram ibuprofen. So I took 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen, and it hasn't even numbed the pain.
Really? So
Yeah.
what, okay, tell me what happened. You were having tooth problems,
Right?
right?
And I told you a bottom tooth fell out.
Yeah.
And I think it just broke off. I think most of the tooth's still in the gums.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's getting infected.
Okay, so you went to the dentist.
Right.
Okay, what?
No. I see the oral surgeon on the 19th of October.
The 19th of October, you're in pain now.
I know.
So what has to be done, did they say?
Well, this is it. They say all of my bottom teeth have to be removed.
All of them?
All of them.
Wow. So then what are they going to do?
I have no idea. That's why I'm going for the consult first.
Yeah, I mean, they should come up with a better answer than just pulling all your teeth.
Right. There has to be a second phase to this.
Yes. Maybe you should get a second opinion.
Maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I've never had a doctor say that to me. They've gone, well, that
Yeah.
tooth doesn't look good. We have to get rid of it or whatever. But,
Right.
Wow, that's amazing. So,
Well, from my sordid past, there's not many bottom teeth to be dealt with.
oh, really?
Yeah, most of this is a partial.
Oh, okay. So you've had something in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now one of the teeth that anchored it, that's one of the teeth that broke. So the partial isn't really anchored real well.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
causing a lot of discomfort.
Wow. Excuse me, folks, if I'm doing this every now and then, because my eyes are also tearing. At first, we suspected what I had was allergies,
Right.
but I don't know. It's not COVID, that we know. Okay.
Right, right.
I have my sense of taste and smell, and I'm not running a temperature. So.
Right. So it's just your basic cold.
Yeah, but not a basic one. This is a terrible cold. I mean, how did I get it?
I don't know, Alex. You're such a germaphobe. I don't know how you got it.
No, wait a minute. How did I get it? I
You
haven't
tell
been
me.
out.
I don't know. I don't follow you around.
I haven't been out, and when I go out, I wear a mask. So how did I
Right.
get it?
Do you wash your hands?
Not all the time, no.
Maybe that's how you got it.
Well, okay, I'll go wash my hands more. So, boy, we are a mess, aren't we?
Right. Maybe you just got a cold. Who
That-
knows how you got it? You just got it.
There could be, but I usually don't get it to the point where I go, I can't do a show tonight. You know?
Right.
Maybe it's just my age. I can't take a cold like this. I'll get used to.
Maybe it affects you harder.
Yeah.
It's stronger and it's more potent.
So anyway, so you've got this tooth problem.
Right.
Are you in pain?
Yes.
And they don't do anything about it.
No, they gave me 800 milligram ibuprofen.
Okay, October we'll get to see you. No,
Right.
no. You're in pain. We're going to take care of the pain now,
Right.
and then we'll deal with the teeth later.
Right.
But apparently they're not dealing with the pain.
So
Yeah.
do I call the dentist? Yes.
I guess you call the dentist and say, hey, well, who recommended the oral surgeon? The dentist?
Yes.
Okay, and then did you get back to the dentist and say he can't see me till?
Yes. And that's why they prescribed the ibuprofen.
Oh boy, boy, I don't know what to tell you. I'd say get another dentist,
Right.
But then again, you don't know the next dentist isn't going to be just as horrible.
Right.
I mean, I don't. I don't trust doctors like I used to.
No, not at all.
You know?
Not at all.
Like I have my internist, or the guy is my go-to guy for being a doctor.
The quarterback of your team.
Well, he's the traffic cop. He says, okay,
Right.
you've got this, go see so-and-so.
Right.
So anyway, I get my yearly checkup, and he says, you have blood in your urine. You better see your urologist. I can give you the name of a urologist.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, number one, I've told him any number of times, I always have blood in my urine. I've had it for the last 15, 20 years.
Really?
Just a trace. It's just a trace. It's not a lot of it. It's just been there. Some people have it, Comes from maybe my prostate or whatever. But anyway,
Right.
no big deal. I even mentioned it to my urologist, who he recommended. He said, oh, I can recommend a urologist. Don't you remember
Right.
you recommended a urologist to me? Don't you remember
Right.
I went to him? Don't you remember I had this cancer operation?
Yeah.
I can recommend. And then he says, so you got blood in your urine. What, you know that,
Right.
And then he goes, then you've got you have slightly lowered platelet levels in your blood. Well,
What
slightly.
does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, if it were a lot, I could have leukemia or a lot of other things. But
Right.
at that, it could be just from the radiation I had.
Right.
But he takes none of this into consideration. He says, he'll do another blood test in a month. And I'm going, I'm supposed to, trust this guy.
Right.
And he doesn't
How long
even...
have you had him?
Oh, God. 15 years?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he's a good doctor, The thing I like
Right.
about him, he's a cardiologist.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so as a cardiologist, he can check my ticker, which he does every now and then. and make sure it's in good shape. So I get two for
Right.
the price of one, you know.
There you go.
But I mean, I'm getting a little sick of him not remembering what's wrong with me. You write it down somewhere. Oh, he has.
Right.
He always
read
has,
about it before I come in.
he always has blood in his urine. You know?
Right.
Yeah. And
I don't know about you, but if I'm pissing blood, I'm going to the ER.
well, yeah, but it's not like you can see the blood. It's like a trace of the blood.
Oh, okay.
It's not like you can see the blood. There's blood in my urine. It's a trace of blood that they can detect in the urine. So, you know, whatever. Hi there, folks. Alex here with bloody urine.
There you go. There's the title of your new show, The Bloody Urine Show.
The Bloody Urine Show. Everybody with bloody urine, listen to the program. We'll talk about bleeding in your blood in your urine.
Enjoy the meal.
No, I mean, it's just, you know, don't go panicky on me on something you already know,
Right.
you know. And I talked to my urologist about the fact that I have blood in my urine. He said, no big deal.
Right.
He says, not unless it's a lot,
Right.
you know. I said, I think it's from my prostate. He said, it might be. He said, it could be coming from anywhere. Yeah. So it's just something in your system. You happen to have blood in your urine. So, hi folks, Alex with blood in my urine. How are you?
This is an invigorating show.
And there's, of course, Stephen Kravitz with the bottom part of his mouth falling apart.
Right. Even my jaw hurts.
Really?
Yeah.
Excuse me, folks, that's my cough. I have been coughing much today, but
No, you haven't coughed much at all.
I'm actually sucking on a lozenge, which is helping.
How are you?
Yeah, keeping me.
What kind of lozenge?
A Jerry Lewis lozenge.
Flagon?
Lozenge. No, just what do you call it? I don't want to do a commercial for them, but
Right.
but it's Halls, sugar-free, triple smooth action.
There you go.
See, because I'm on a diet and I don't want to take the stuff with sugar in it. So,
And it'll rot your teeth.
and then as I said the other day, if I then want to do an impression of fire, oh, the place is on fire.
Oh. There you go. Mr. Sound Effects.
That's the first sound effect I ever learned.
Really?
Yes. And I think the last sound effect I ever learned. But that's how they would do fire in radio. You know, oh, there's a fire in the room. Or there's a fireplace.
Right.
Yeah. Why don't they make these? You know, if they wanted to make these really, they want to have a selling point. Why don't they say it is a Hall's mentholyptus, whatever, in new soundproof packaging?
Right.
You know, But if you're in a movie theater and all of a sudden you got to go because you got to take a Hall's mentholyptus and you got to go. Everybody's going, will you shut the fuck up?
Right. Or somebody else fire. Somebody could yell fire. I mean, isn't that your special effect?
In a crowded theater? I don't want to do
Right.
that.
Right.
You know. And have you ever had anybody yell fire in a crowded theater?
No.
And if they did, do you think you'd panic? Knowing
No.
the kind of people that go to movies today?
No. I don't think I would panic.
Yeah. So,
I would certainly look around.
well, you would check it out to make sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You would check it out to make sure. But but don't yell fire in a crowded theater. Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It's against the law.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know if it's against the law.
I believe it is. I believe it's against the law to yell fire in a crowded theater.
I think it's against the law to create panic. But what if he yelled?
Which yelling
Okay.
fire in a crowded theater
Okay.
would.
What if I yelled fire in a shopping mall? Would that be okay?
No.
Okay. So why is a crowded theater any different than a shopping mall?
Well, both places you would create panic.
I see. Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Because
And people could get hurt, stampling each other to the door.
oh, what we're saying is that it's dangerous because people are inconsiderate.
How do you get that?
Because they stamp all over each other, just trying to get out of the way. I'm out of here. Let me go.
Right. Well, bird mentality.
I mean, my indication would be women and children first.
Right.
See, that's the proper attitude to have.
Right. But would you do that if there was a fire right behind you?
Fuck no, I'm getting out of there as fast as possible.
See?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You know, I don't intend to be that wonderful about things.
That
Yeah.
noble?
That noble. Yeah. Are you noble that way? What would you do if there was literally fire in a crowded theater? Number one, would you yell fire?
No.
No.
Wait a minute, if there was a fire, if there actually was a fire,
Yeah.
I would yell fire.
But wait a minute, hold on a second. But then what would be the result of that?
Hopefully it would save lives if there was an actual fire.
Or it might get people trampled.
Right, or burnt to death if you don't say anything. What would you say?
I would say, well, there's an old joke about the guy who fell into a vat of chocolate at a chocolate factory.
Never heard it.
And-
Go ahead, tell the joke.
And was drowning to death in the chocolate. And finally he just yelled fire. And somebody rushed over and pulled him out of the chocolate. And he said, why did you yell fire? He said, because if I yelled chocolate, nobody would come.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So that's the old joke, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man, my nose is just dripping. Oh, it's just a mess. So
Thank
anyways,
God. What?
so the two of us are just a mess today, is what you're saying.
Today is not a good day.
I mean, how bad is that tooth hurting you?
Bad enough to go lay down when we're done.
Well, we're doing this in the afternoon, and you have about an hour before it's worse. Which
Right.
is, are you ready? Which is, it'll be tooth hurty.
Good night. Good night.
That's the worst joke I ever heard.
That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, my ex-producer, Albert Reynoso, came up with that. He said, what is dental time? Well, I don't know. Tooth hurty.
And he thought it was funny as all heck.
Yeah, we got a good laugh out of it. Aha. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, on top of it, this is going to be expensive, isn't it?
Yes.
Where are you going to get the money?
Don't know.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Is there any kind of charity you can go to get help?
There's a comics helping comics thing.
Oh, okay. All right. That's something. Oh,
Right, I'll have to give him a call.
Yeah. By the way, before we go,
Yeah.
I watched the latest movie with Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah, is it good?
No,
No?
no, it's pretty terrible. And
Really?
Marjorie said to me, "Well, boy, he's getting old and he really can't act anymore." I said, "Clint never could act.
Right,
Clint was a movie star. Clint wasn't an actor.
right.
Am I right or am I wrong?" And he was
No, you're right.
He was very nice to you, and you're
Thank you.
very generous to him. But I said he never was a good actor. He ran the emotional gamut from A to B,
Right.
as the
Right.
old joke goes. And but as I watched it, I figured I'll go back and I'll watch Sudden Impact I'll watch the scenes with Steven in it, and you were good.
Thank you.
You were just great as Punk. What, number 3?
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
Cronies Hawkins number 2.
Cronies, Hawkins.
Crony number 2.
Crony number 2. Okay.
Right.
If anybody ever has a chance, you can go to, in fact, you can go to HBO Max if you have it, and go watch Sudden Impact with Clint Eastwood. And in the scene of them coming out of a courtroom, he's one of the thugs that
Right.
winds up in the elevator with him. And by the way, great reaction when Clint grabs the guy and throws him up against the wall.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And was that true shock because you didn't expect it to be that hard, or was that just good acting?
Good acting.
Okay, bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
should've-
I'll be here all week.
Should have gotten the Oscar for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then later on, he throws a firebomb into
Right.
Clint's car.
First, I take out his back window with a baseball bat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. But did you throw the Molotov cocktail?
Yes, I did.
Yes. And you throw it, and Clint's car gets on fire. And the last thing you want to have happen is for Dirty Harry's car to catch fire.
Right, right.
Because then
Now
he's,
we shot that scene.
yeah.
First of all, they were going to use stunt guys to do the breaking of the bat and throwing the Molotov. And Clint said these guys are having such a great time, let them do it. So we got to do our own stunts.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And when I threw the Molotov cocktail, first of all, I thought I wasn't going to be able to break the back window. You know, I thought all 150 pounds of me is going to be just bouncing a bat off the back window.
Yeah.
And they put a nail in it. So when I hit the window, the nail shattered everything.
Oh,
And
okay.
the adrenaline. And the adrenaline.
Wow. Wow.
And then I threw the Molotov cocktail. I got that in one take.
Son of a bitch. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if anybody wants to see Steven, in his early days, a young youth, he's in Sudden Impact. He's in Howard the Duck. We won't even
I got approached by this other podcast that was actually doing a feature on Howard the Duck, and they tracked me down.
all you did, you were kissing a girl.
Kissing a girl, and then he comes slamming through a brick wall, and I go, what the? And then I take a sign that says for rent or something like that, and I try to smash him with it.
I see. And that was you, and that
Oh,
was
yeah.
that was you in Howard the Duck.
That was my very first film.
Howard the Duck?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought that the Clint's film was the first, but
that's the one I claim as my first.
oh, I see. You don't want anybody to know you did Howard the Duck.
That's correct.
Well, look, you don't have to feel bad about Howard the Duck. It wasn't your fault it sucked.
No, it wasn't.
You did your job,
That's right.
you know.
And I got to kiss a very pretty girl.
Yeah, do you remember who she was?
No,
No.
no.
Was she enjoying kissing you?
She didn't complain.
Oh, okay. Were you really kissing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, because sometimes it's like the movie kiss, you know, with the closed mouths. You know?
Right, right. No, we were kissing.
Oh, really? Tongues?
Yeah.
With tongues?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
oh,
really?
yeah.
Boy, this movie racket ain't bad, is it?
No, it's not at all.
No, it's really been very, very good to you, as a matter of fact.
That's like when I shot Woman in Red with Gene Wilder.
Yeah, that's the film which you get a credit, but you're not in it.
I never get in front of the camera,
But you
but
got,
I'm in the credit.
and do you still get checks for it?
Nah, if I get them, they're for like under a quarter.
You know, I'm still getting checks for a Bill Maher one night stand that I announced back in 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's like $7 or something.
Right. Well, up until this year, I was still getting checks from Sudden Impact.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, you might get some more. It's on HBO Max.
I might. We'll
Yeah,
see.
You know, but not a bad racket, folks. If you can get into it, if you'd had enough movie roles, you could be taking care of that dental work right now.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think our time is up here. We have actually gone our normal 25 minutes.
Right.
And I'm sick and you're sick, and we did a yeoman job here because we're professionals.
That's right. That's how you know the pros from the amateurs.
Okay, well, I won't see you next week because I'm taking the week off.
Right,
Because
right.
I have dental work, eye work to be done.
Right.
And then I'll see you the following week, ladies and
following
gentlemen.
week. Yes, sir.
Well, we'll figure that out in a second. Let me just say goodbye to you. That's
Right.
Stephen Kravitz, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye, folks. Thanks for watching.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, hello everybody, and I'm out of sync. See what happens? I go out of sync. It just happens. Okay, well I give up on that. Okay, I'm giving up on. I wonder if I just stopped. Well, if I think if I stop my what do you call it, the Zoom. See, I would be in sync. This has been a problem we've been having for a week now, and I have no way of solving it at all. So, the best way to do it is to go to the go to the Zoom, which I only have a couple of people here because I guess nobody believed I was alive still. Okay, who is you okay? All right, hello, all of you people, all you two people here.
Well, we're surprised that you're alive, but
Well, I'm surprised I'm alive. You know, I'm not feeling that great tonight, but you know, I mean, I'm. Let me put it this way: whatever was wrong with me is not wrong with me any longer. So that's
that's a good improvement.
It is an improvement of sorts. No, what happened was, I guess it was Saturday night. I was talking to you, Josh, right? And I said I was starting to get kind of a cold.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that was Saturday. And then Sunday I came down with it, kind of, not full force, but quite a bit. And then Monday I did our Monday show, and I managed to get through it. And then Tuesday night, there was no way I could do a show. I was just deadly ill with, I was just, I don't know, had coughing and sneezing and all of that. No temperature, by the way. So probably not COVID. I took the night off, and the next night I felt worse than I did the night before. So I took that night off, and then on Thursday night I felt I felt better yesterday, and then today I woke up and I didn't have any of the cold or anything like that, or congestion or whatever, and that seemed to be gone. So I said I'll do a show tonight. Then I went out, I took my walk, and I haven't walked in about 4 days. I could barely do it. I guess I was so exhausted from you know, whatever cold I had. And I think it was a cold. I don't think it was anything else. So today I had to go. Today I get a call from I have to have my eyes done next week. That's why I won't be on next week. I have to have these eyes lifted here. So then I'll look like this next week.
You can look surprised all the time.
Look surprised all the time, yeah. But I'm going to be hurting not hurting, but in discomfort for a day or two. And for the rest of the week, I'm going to look like somebody had beaten the crap out of me. So I can't do the show then. I'll probably do a show the following week, but I'll probably be doing it with dark glasses on because I will still be bruised. But we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, so I get a call today from my doctor, the one that's going to do the work, and it's from his nurse, and she says, well, I want to remind you have to go get your COVID test. I said, what COVID test? Because when I went, they looked at all my, my vaccinations and things like that and said, that's all we need. So I figured, now they're telling me on Friday that I've got to. So I went over to his office and he did the swab, which I had never really had one full force. That's not comfortable. I mean,
Sometimes.
well, this wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I had done Brian's system, I'd probably be fine. It wouldn't have hurt at all, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll be gentle.
You'd be gentle, right? But anyway,
believe in you.
my doctor said, well, I said, I've been sick for the last week. I said, I'm better now. I said, but I just got over it yesterday. It started to go away, and today it's gone. And he said, well, you might have had COVID. I said, but I didn't have any temperature. And he said, doesn't matter. We don't know whether you have it or not. That's never an indicator.
Then why do we do temperature reading everywhere?
Yeah, then why do we do temperature readings? Give me a break. So anyway, I'm going to I will not be here next week unless I don't pass my COVID test. In which case, I'll be here next week, and I guess I'll have COVID or something. I don't know. Well, I think if I have COVID, I already had it. But what I got last week does sound to you, does it, Brian, like I had COVID?
No, that's why I asked you if you have the sniffles. If you have cold stuff, then you should be fine.
Oh, I had sniffles. I was all plugged up and everything.
Yeah, it's not flu-like
And
symptoms.
a little sore throat, for which I would take. I had a tickle in my throat, right here.
Oh.
And today, all I have left is a cough, and it's like the stuff getting rid of itself.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm exhausted. I mean, I hope I can get through this hour okay. What, Tony?
See, I was worried you had COVID, Alex, because when I had it in January, I had the nasal drip and I was tired a little bit and I had the cough. Because you sounded really congested that day on Monday when I listened to the show.
Yeah, but did you ever check to go see whether you had it or not?
No, I tested positive. I did. They stuck it up my nose.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. But just because you test positive doesn't mean you have it.
Well, I was positive, so they told me to quarantine when I went for it.
So did you have it for weeks?
I had a quarantine in January for 10 days. Yeah, they would call my house and everything, the city. Did you come in contact with anybody? I was getting that call every day.
I believe me, I don't know where. If I got it, I don't know where I could have gotten it.
See, I know where I got it. That's what I was saying. You don't really go out unless when you were doing your walks. I was telling Phil, maybe when you did a walk in the park. I don't know.
But then I'm distanced from people.
Yeah.
Maybe
Marjorie's been working from the house. I said, how can he have gotten this? Because you don't really know nobody in the house, really, which is good.
She has come into contact with people who have come into contact.
So there you go then, yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
But you got the vaccine, thank God, Alex. When I came into it, I didn't have the vaccine in January. That's when my mother passed away.
Yeah. But,
what you would have now is a breakthrough case, I think.
Well, that would be what it's called because it's, what were you saying, Brian?
I said that's why I asked you last week or Monday or whatever it was, that if the seasons have been changing, the temperatures have been changing over there, because it's been changing a little bit over here, and a couple of people at work have gotten sick, but it's been cold stuff.
Yeah, but yeah. And you get frightened when you get a cold like this. But I mean, it was a rather bad cold. I don't get colds usually this bad.
Alex, you don't mind me asking, maybe it was do you have the air conditioner on tonight? Because sometimes when I have the air on, it dries me up.
That could have done it. It could have helped, certainly.
But sometimes the other night, I had to turn the air conditioner off Sunday. I was so dried up at night.
Yeah, because
the air conditioner being too cold.
But, even getting a cold, I read that people are starting to get colds more again. They weren't getting them during COVID. Why? Because everybody was wearing masks.
And everybody was quarantined.
Was quarantined. So
now everybody thinks you can go out and just wear a mask and you're fine.
I think we're being too loosey-goosey with the whole thing myself.
I agree.
I think.
I'm happy my company stayed with our social distancing straight through.
Yeah.
Because we work there's a lot of people at work. So I'm happy that they didn't start loosening up when California loosened up a little bit. So.
Well, California loosened up. How loose?
No, I'm saying months ago. Months ago, when they loosened up, our company kept on, with our stuff still. When they said like indoors, you're okay and all that stuff, we kept on the mask. So.
Well, who knows? I might wind up having COVID for all we know.
But thank God you got the vaccine. I was saying, because you're safe then. You'd really.
Well,
Because you look fine now. You look pretty good now, Alex. The
No.
vaccine,
Yeah, well, I was just, there were a couple of days there where I was sleeping a lot, and I was just not feeling. I was feeling lousy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I didn't have respiratory problems.
Neither did I. I was breathing myself. I got tired in the afternoon, Alex. I was sleeping on the chair.
I get tired all the time, but since I'm 81 years old, you know.
So and no temperature, which is good, but my mother didn't have a temperature either. I was going to tell you that.
She didn't have a temperature?
No, I had the electronic one, and at night before she got bed, I was always taking me and my husband on the phone.
I have that, and I also have a oral thermometer.
Oh, you got both? Okay.
Yeah, and my temperature stayed at around 97.6 or something like that.
That was like me, like 97.8.
Yeah. And then when I went and used the oral thermometer for a couple of days there, I was coming up with at 99.
Ooh, so that's more accurate.
Well, is it more accurate?
I would imagine, right? But isn't a temperature now 100.3 or no?
Well, when you're 101.5, you start worrying.
Oh, okay. Okay.
99. Well, you don't worry at 99, right, Brian?
I do, because I'm usually 97. I'm very cool. But,
I mean, what is more? Why is there such a difference between the oral and the digital?
What about the rectal? I don't know.
My mother always did oral.
But they're always there. When you're going into places and stuff like that, they're always using the thing.
Infrared IR little thingies.
Yeah. So which one do you believe?
I don't know. My mother always used the one in my tongue, Alex, in the mouth. She never liked the electric.
Yeah, but my question still is.
Oh, which one do you believe? I don't know. I bet you the one in the mouth is better.
Then how come everybody, where you go, doctors' offices,
You're right.
Restaurants, everything like
I
that?
gotta ask you that. Yeah, why is that?
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to see the gross high temperature people, not the.
And they really don't want to stick the thermometer in your mouth, probably.
Well, anyway, so I mean, the highest I went was at like 99, and so who knows, Who knows? I just.
You survived.
But there was somebody on the thing on the what do you call it, the chat or
Facebook.
Something, who you saw and you answered, Brian, or on my my Facebook page. Said, get tested.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like,
what do you know? To begin with, I looked up all the symptoms of COVID. Okay, and of all those symptoms, I only had 2, and both of them were minor ones.